quite pleased with it, but not so much the tourists, I should
Starting
say.
our city tour
So,
of Berlin.
okay, here we go. You're now on a peninsula, and the old harbor is on the right, on the left side, and the new harbor is going to show you pretty soon now on the right side. The little building here in the center of the street on the right side was built about 500 years ago as the private home of the commander of the old fort. And by the way, the stones, the grey stones you can see at the corners are, they are soapstone. We have got soapstone quarries in the neighborhood of Bergen. And in the old days when we were all Catholics, we had 6 monasteries or nunneries in Bergen. But think of Bergen as a 900-year-old city, and then you will understand that so much history you can find underneath the stones here. But the tour today, and Bergen has got Northern Europe's most important collection and biggest collection of old wooden buildings. She said it was a terrible experience. And when she told me that, as I was supposed to say, why? And she answered, well, you do know it is the tallest building in Bergen, but nobody had told me that it was the longest way to go from the door to the altar in Bergen. So, you know, when I met, if you had been here 100 years ago, oh, well, that's a long time ago, you could have come in by boat from the right side. And when you look to the right now, you see a fountain in that little lake. And up on the top, 620 meters up, you see a television mast. And that mast is the geographical center of Bergen. And now you understand that the white geese have lost their lives at sea. Just follow this one. Fish market is now straight ahead, open from 7. This one, please. The fish market is straight ahead, and if you had been a tourist wandering around at the fish market, you would have been buying smoked salmon or shrimps, prawns. And I must tell you that the biggest number of foreign groups visiting Bergen, and which are being guided by Bergen Guide Service, that are the Japanese. Been filled in or out. And the low pointed gabled buildings on the other side now, they are the 7 houses which we have left and which are on the UNESCO list of World Heritage, just on the other side here. But we are coming by a little bit later, the fjord line. We have got car ferries going from Bergen every week to Newcastle and to Denmark, and once a week to Iceland. And the sun straight in your eyes. Now you'll be able to take a picture without getting the sun straight into the lens. So let's make a few minutes stop here if any of you want to get out and take a picture. Here. You may be getting curves in your hair. Those hairpins up, you know. Yes. Well, if you then had been here 60 years ago, you would have had beautiful wooden buildings on the right side, buildings which were about 150 years old. But now, in 10 seconds, if you look to the right, you see a few of the buildings which were left over after the explosion. Now look at the buildings here on the right, typical Bergen architecture 100 years ago. Quite wealthy businessmen had their businesses here. They could receive their customers which came which came by boat into Bergen. And the tall building on the right side belongs to the Norwegian Ministry of Fisheries. Otherwise, the biggest and most beautiful saltwater aquarium in Europe is on the right side here. They are constantly building is big. I just love to go here with my friends in Norway. I've seen American hangar ships. They can all get alongside, as in front of the piers we have a depth of 60 feet of seawater. That is just here on the right side. and streets in Bergen. Just here, this one. What you see in the middle is for the horse. There's one more coming up now. One more coming up. If you are riding a horse, you ride in the middle so it doesn't slide in the winter. See, we are trying to show where it was going some years ago, now on the right, just ahead of us now. And it's the most famous Norwegian author, Henrik Ibsen. He's the one who wrote Nora, A Dollhouse, and so on. And the theater is beautiful. It has got 3 different stages. Upper station of the funicular. We are not, you see they got shops underneath, but otherwise there'll be apartment buildings. Number 2 from left. The green building on the left a little bit further ahead, that is a vocational school. Yeah. So if you want your daughter to be a hairdresser or a plumber or the other way around, typically in Norway, you want your son to become a hairdresser and your daughter a plumber. That's very much in. Then you go to school here on the left. Which is pretty low. Then I can tell you that summer temperatures in Bergen are normally between 12 centigrades and 20 centigrades. That will be above. But we have got a good deal of business with abroad. We got cargo ships and not to forget the oil tankers, which is the best thing we have got. And we have got hotels and business and all the services and the houses, because we must have a little bit of greenery inside Bergen. There has occasionally snow in the evening, and it gets icy during the night. It is pretty tough to climb with your car here in the morning, and then it starts raining about 12 o'clock, and then you have slush in the afternoon. So if you haven't got this, you got that, and then you got nothing next morning, and you're all wet and cold and feel miserable. Yes, the lady lives here. This is her garden. She's got 200 different plants in a tiny little garden. Look at this one. She says, I haven't got a garden, I've got a plant collection. It's expensive. And if you see one with grass roof, a grass roof is a turf roof is the most expensive roof you can have in Bergen.
Kind of rainy, but this is a sightseeing view of Bergen from about 600 feet up.
Don't slide now. The peninsula in the center, we were there. Oh. Building this brown one. Small apartment, that house was opened up last year. It's brand new. Oh, there are some doctors moving in already. Outfit the people in with the doctors. Now, this was then the old frontier of Bergen. A collection of buildings where 5,000 people are working, and that is the University Hospital of Bergen. So every time we got a ring in Bergen, and the money they collect, we used to build new roads, and also, you see that one, that was a city bus. They are paying per month. But when I come here with the bus, which is not the city bus, hey, good dag, good dag. Oh, you can't see much. It is a very old city gate. Once upon a time, we were always at war with Sweden, and we were afraid of Swedish soldiers, so we built this here on the left side. 100 years old, that tiny little building. It is the oldest city hall in Europe, which has been in constant use. Now let's try to get here and to the left. Try to get into the left side now of the railway station. To the left, and then it's pretty tricky. But you see, in Bergen we have X's running through the city, and there is an X, one of the X's, I mean the street straight through, from the top of the hill, through here, and I'm up in the theatre, up here on the right side, because the lower station of the funicular is up here to the right. And that's a white wooden tower up there.
Where was the piano bar?
Right here in this big building on the side, right to the left.
Oh, okay.
You're in the center now. The seafront on the left side was 300 feet further up to the right. If you had been here, say, 800 years ago, and look at the pointed gables, they are quite typical for the architecture by that time. 8,000 tourist groups in Bergen, 2,000 in German language, 2,000 in Japanese language, 1,900 in English, and then the French and the Spanish. Is that the city council have been very smart, because we have incorporated in Bergen Harbor the neighboring communities, and we have got the biggest oil installation in Norway, in Bergen. The houses are some of the very, 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 very famous old wooden buildings. Then I got to leave you here. I must meet my wife in town and have a cheap dinner.
Well, now we've come back as far as Vos, and now we're on our after lunch break, heading a new direction toward Randvik, and then on to Variegate, where we'll meet another short ferry. So we'll have some new scenery. There's another John Deere over there. We're doing some more hairpin turns till we get down there.
Look at the falls down below us.
It
comes down, honey. This reminds me of that one in Glacier. It was on top. Look at that. It went below the road.
The nice view over here. Look over here.
I figured I'd sort of.
I used to.
That's a water root track right there. That's a big one. Boy, it's amazing that green. That is big.
Are just like tied, you know, they're not supposed to
Look at these hay bales. Wet and green.
Wet and green, yeah, and then they wrap them up in that white stuff.
Yeah, fishing.
We're coming out of the 43rd tunnel since we left Bergen, and this tunnel was about 5 miles long.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to see, and whenever you come out of the tunnel, what the scenery's going to be like.
Stop for a gift.
Checking in here to get onto the other ferry. There comes the ferry.
Other end of the
This will just be a short crossing to Grimnes, and our last ferry crossing until we get down to Oslo.
We got a faster speed limit, but we
And we make it. Up, 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 up.
Ja, ich bin am Heben, weißt du.
Yeah.
Come on, Mercedes, you want you over a little.
Well, oh, he's got to put us right down here on the bottom. We're going to be at an angle. Well, we'll be the first ones off anyway.
Yeah.
Ja, fahr noch weiter links.
Got it squared up here. Whoa.
It's all right now. That's the switch.
Did you feel the earth move?
Gladys. That gauge, she said.
Tommy Jensen.
His name was John.
Oh.
He had it in the window. Did he get done eating?
No. When he let it out, he
Okay, we're across the ferry on Brimness on our way to Gilo. Good job.
There we go.
Everybody's heading for the souvenir shop. While Matthias is fueling up the bus. Can't get any more suitcases in, but they're still buying stuff.
It's better than nothing.
Following this little stream as we start climbing on our 8% grade to the Hardanger Vita. It's called the High Plateau on our way to Gilo.
Thank you.
The High Plateau of the Hardanger Vita.
A couple of them back there, men by the lake, they got wet by this.
It looks like a name. That's what it looks like.
Sure, as soon as you get up high, you can walk.
It's chilly up here, isn't it?
Really?
This is the High Plateau of the Hardanger Vita. There's a little photo stop here. Now we're starting to come down from the Hardanger Vita. Just got into Gilo. Now we'll look for our hotel. This is the Highland Hotel here in Gilo. Our last night's stay before the Color Line ferry. Our view from the room on the 4th floor of the Highland Hotel. Once again, our bus down there. Our neighbor's got a balcony, but we don't have one.